Hello. Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. Looks like my audio is messed up. It's a little bit low. Stand by one moment. Let me fix this. It should not be low, but it does appear to be a little low. Is it low? Um, I don't know why it would be low. I feel like it should be a little bit higher. Let's bring that up. This should be a little bit better there. Sounds good? Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Oh, hello. Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is February 21st at 10 o'clock in the morning. We have a fun stream for you. Sorry for not being around yesterday. I'm doing this kind of thing where I'm taking like a day off of like streaming here. And then just because I got a lot of stuff going on, I'm opening up a business. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. But that doesn't mean that I cannot set time aside in the morning to do streams like this because, well, I love news. And one thing I don't like doing is watching all the rubbish to find something good. And yeah, I found a couple things that I think are worth talking about. So anybody that is new here, basically what I do is I go over news and then I give you my reactionary response to these because some of the news that is on TV is ridiculous. And a lot of what we see is about Trump. And I feel like the next I feel like the next 6 months you're gonna see a whole lot of that. So you can either elect to turn it off or kind of embrace what they're talking about. But honestly, none of it really affects me, and I know that that sounds like a negative thing. So in a weird way, I don't I don't want to say I don't care about it. It's just not that important to me. However, that does not mean that I will not find little quips that I feel like I should share with you because they are important. Now, that being said, thank you, Monkey, and thank you, Jorn, and thank you, David. So let's get into it, shall we? Because I've got some fun. It's the first one. I get it. You're probably looking at the title like, what is he talking about? Cockroaches. I I, I got something I want to say about that. But we're gonna kind of go in a weird, awkward order. First, we're gonna start off with the IRS one because I think this is big. For anybody that is not tuned in, basically what Trump is trying to do with HR 25 is the um, the no tax. I cannot remember what it's called. Free tax, tax free, tax nexus tax. I cannot remember what it's called. It's not really important. He's just trying to abolish income tax. I don't think it's gonna happen, but here we go. Fair tax, fair tax. There it is. Jesus, thank you.
Now to Washington, where cuts, continue across federal agencies. A federal judge ruled yesterday that cuts can continue as legal challenges continue and larger agencies could see cuts next. Our Scripps News Group, Serena Marshall.
Okay, do you guys have echo or is it okay? Let's just fix that because it looks like there is an echo and I might have to put in AirPods. Feedback, okay. A little bit of an echo. All right, stand by a second. Hold on. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I have to find them. Hold on. Got it. No, I don't. I got it. All right. Sorry about that. Let's get it where you don't see hearing any feedback. I do apologize. I don't know what's happening. Sometimes it works. That it doesn't crash it. Let's make sure the audio is good. All right, here we go. You don't have any audio, so stand by a second.
Serena, good morning to you.
Now you should have audio. Yep. Audio is good. rocking and rolling. Here we go.
What's the impact of the most cuts at the IRS, and what other agencies could be next?
Yeah, well, Aaron, the other agencies we're watching right now include the Department of Defense. Those letters have gone out. I've been told that they're starting to look at which employees, likely starting with probationary ones, could be impacted. And that'll extend to basically every division of the DOD, from intelligence to NAVC, the shipbuilding component of the Navy. I'm sure that impacts many of your viewers there. But so no agency is really exempt from this. The CIA also undergoing their cuts, but the IRS is the one we're watching today. And that's because we expect about 6,000 to 7,000 probationary employees to be released as part of this federal downsizing. Now, those employees, many of them hired as part of the Inflation Reduction Act, and that influx of cash that went to the IRS that was focused on both enforcement and customer service. Now,
okay, I don't know about anybody else. Customer service, my ass. If you are from America, right, and you have an income tax issue, and you need to get a hold of somebody, you have better luck of getting hold of a customer support agent at Facebook or Google or Burger King. Like, you know how, depending on how popular of an area you're in, you might be like, you know what, I want to call McDonald's and figure out, you know, what is their line like? Or, oh my God, I would love to call my bank to figure out how many people are in the waiting room. And if you're in a very populated area, like for instance, when I was in Edison, this feels so weird with these in my ear. When I was in Edison, it was weird because you could not, they would have direct lines to like Bank of America. But no matter when you called them, it always directed back to the 1-800 number. So, and it was kind of the same thing with Burger King. Ah, man, you know, you guys gave me the wrong order. I ordered a Whopper Jr. and you gave me a mini fish fillet. I didn't even know you had these sliders. You could never get a hold of them, right? It's the same shit with the IRS. I don't care how. It's just not happening. So all those people that they hired for customer service, I was going to ignore the other one until they said that. Your customer service sucks. And they have the same thing there that they have when you call Bank of America or Wells Fargo, whatever, where you have to play tic-tac-toe with your keypad to get a hold of somebody. And then even then, they're not even going to speak English. I kid you not. I called IRS about 13 months, no, not about 13 months ago, February of last year, so 12 months ago. And when I got somebody on the phone, I swear to you, there's no way that they were in the States. If so, it was a call center, and you hear all these people talking in the background, and they're not speaking English. That tells me that somebody in India has got my social security number and has got an access. People are worried about what Trump's and Elon Musk access is for, you know, payments and shit. Meanwhile, while Biden was in office, this is important, okay, because I got to play both sides of the house. While Biden was in office, I was making phone calls to IRS, speaking to somebody in middle of either Mogadishu, because they sounded Somalian, or India. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Your customer service sucks, IRS. And it just sucks. Let's just move on.
when you're looking at filing.
No, Mogadishu, because they sounded kind of Somalian, but it's not the point. It really isn't. You just have no customer service. So get rid of those people. I think that's good. I think it's good. Trump's cleaning up house. Get rid of them all. Get rid of everybody at the IRS. And I just want to point something out. It's not really related to this, but I think it's really important. Is Trump? Does anybody know what DEI stands for? Anybody? Right? It's not just about race, right? It's about diversity, right? It's about inclusion. It's about equity, diversity, something equal. No, it's not equal. Shit. I can't remember what it's not equity. Equity is what you put in a house. Whatever. Oh God, it's bothering me. Equity. Somebody help me. Diversity. Equifax. Nope, those are credit checkers. I'm trying not to look at chat. Hold on. Diversity. Exclusion? No. Diversity? Oh, God, I'm ruining my stream right now. Oh, God, it's bothering me so much. It's not equal opportunity. That's something else. I got nothing. I got to look at the chat. I got nothing. Diversity, equal inclusion. Yeah, I'm looking at chat. Is it exclusion? It's not exclusion. Is it equity? It's not equity. Is it equity? I said that. I said that. Didn't I say equity? And I was like, that's something you put in your house? Really? Okay, I was right the first time. Whatever. So anyway, it's not actually just race. It's a lot. But does anybody else notice that Trump is out here truly practicing DEI? You guys seen his new FBI dude? Kash Patel, Indian. Elon Musk, South African. Right? Like you are literally putting everything but white people in charge. Well, when I say white people, it's probably Elon Musk is white. No, he's not. He's South African, right? Stop that. Just because his skin is white doesn't make him white. When I'm saying white, I think of Caucasus region, Caucasian, which in theory were like white Asians filled with caulk. That's the same shit you put on your window. All right, I digress. Anyway, I think it's interesting. And Trump is trying to get rid of it, but let me just hire a bunch of people so we fit in that bracket. Okay, let's just move on. I sound like I hate Trump. I'm not saying that. Just pay attention to what's around you, right? Women, no white men, like regular ass men.
Your taxes were only about 2 months away from the deadline right now. You'll likely experience longer wait times, longer efforts to try and get somebody on the customer service side on the phone, longer time to get your tax return if you're due a refund. And that's because, think about this, in 2020.
Okay, let me go backwards real quick. Let's just talk about this sign. This is the IRS, right? You take money for a living. Like that's what you do. You handle taxes that people pay. You couldn't hire a fucking power washer, right? That sign looks like it's been there. There's no way. That's got to be like a fire exit or something. That can't be the main entrance. You got rust on the wall behind. That's like bathroom tile. Where is this? I need more. You decided to pick the worst picture for your thumbnail. That's what you went with? You couldn't find anything else? All right. You better get some Bresso out there or something to polish those letters up. That looks terrible.
Think about this. In 2022, before the IRA went into effect, customer service was at a 15% and the average wait time 30 minutes. After the IRA, they were able to improve that customer service to 87% and the average wait time just 3 minutes. You don't want to have to deal with the IRS, but if you're forced to, you want it to be fast and efficient. That will likely get impacted. Those
It wasn't fast or efficient before, so it's not like it's going to matter any. And if 6,000, even if 6,000 of those people, I'm just going to take the median salary between all of them or hourly, and let's just say it's $10 an hour. 10. That first off, that it's not going to be 10, but let's just say it's 10. That's $60,000 an hour. That's a lot of money. So yeah, no, that's probably best. And they're not picking up the phone, so I don't know what they're getting paid to do. Sit around and look busy. Hey, everybody, look at that sign. Take a picture of it. That's what they're doing. And then they submit it over here to WTKR News.
Audits, the focus under the Biden administration of going after the high earners, those will likely also be diminished. And keep in mind here, Aaron, that every year the IRS fails to collect about $600 billion.
What do you mean fails to collect? I feel like I haven't done enough of research on the IRS. What do you mean fails to collect? You mean that's people that owe and then they have to pay monthly to pay that off? $600 billion? That can't be right. There's no way that's right.
In tax.
And is that a year? I probably should let her talk. Are you talking about that's a year or that's people on back taxes? There's no way that's accurate.
That's 3% of the GDP, more than a third of that, the vast majority coming from people in the top 1%. Audits of those in the top 1% dropped from 2012 to now by 72%. Those will likely.
Good. I say don't let, you know what I say? I say, I'm going to get shit for this. Let's just be clear, I'm not in that top 1%. I say don't tax them. That's what I say, because they provide jobs to all of these people. So let them off the hook. Yes? Or tax them less than middle class. And I'm part of the upper middle class. I just want to be clear here. I'm defending, I'm hoping somebody rich sees the stream and is like, ooh, I like him. Let me get him a car. That's my mindset. And Brown knows him right now.
They now reduce even more with those auditors no longer being employed if they're part of those cuts. Aaron?
Going beyond that headline, giving us some context there, Serena. Before I let you go, I want to move on to the federal budget, too. President Trump has said that he wants to cut spending.
Are they running an HVAC and it's pointed towards the actual microphone? Because that audio is terrible. I feel like I was better off not having these things in my ear.
We know that, and we know that voting started on a proposed spending bill in the Senate. So where do things stand on that this morning?
Well, that spending bill is to add spending to the DOD and border security, the wall, and improved enforcement, mass deportations. Did not include his promised tax cuts. That is going to be separate in the Senate. And really the Senate, what they voted on last night, or actually 5 a.m. this morning, was the
5 a.m.? Really? The Senate is in session at 5 a.m.? Whew. There goes my political career. Look, I don't come to work until 11. I'll work till like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m., but I'm not coming in till 11. So if you guys want to take a vote, text me, and I'll just, do like when you have a fraud alert, and you're like, oh, did you do this transaction in Belgium for $862, and you do a Y or an N? It'd be the same thing. How do you feel about passing this fair tax law? No, that counts. That's it. That's how I'm working.
Republicans' Plan B. They wanted to do Plan A, which is they're still moving forward in the House of Representatives. President Trump said he wants that one big, beautiful bill that includes those funding requirements, but also that $1.5 trillion bill in tax cuts. But they need to offset that spending. In the Senate, Republicans are pushing forward this two-plan bill, and the way they did it through reconciliation, that marathon vote-a-rama last night, is to allow them to do it without filibusters, but it meant anyone can propose an amendment. There were multiple amendments put forward. More than anything, Aaron, this was messaging. Democrats using it to force uncomfortable votes for Republicans.
Wait, she just said messaging. They just stole my idea? Like text messaging? You said messaging. Let me go back real quick. I did not watch this.
Amendments put forward. More than anything, Aaron, this was messaging. Democrats using it to force uncomfortable votes for Republicans. They suggested bills that would require insurers to cover IVF, research, not making sure no blocking of.
Her shirt reminds me of an old 1972 like hotel curtain. Like that's what I get, or like a. One of those blankets that aren't. All right, let's stay focused.
Cuts to things like law enforcement agencies. All of those amendments, though, failed. It did move forward. But again, Republicans are hoping this is Plan B. Aaron?
Serena Marshall with our morning update. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Look, I think it's good. I do. I think it's fantastic that Trump is out here firing people. As long as you have the minimum people required for the job, that's a win for me. That's a win. The way that I see it is I'll take the military standpoint that less is more. All right. If you look at any type of special forces operation or any kind of deployment, yeah, we're going to send mass amounts of people there. But for each mission, QRF, whatever, you're not going to send everybody, right? You only need mandatory personnel. And I think that that is a fantastic way to do it. I say remove those 6,000 people and then raise the other people that are there. Even if it's $2, $3, whatever, pick a number, right? Cut that number. Either way, you're saving yourself a lot of money. So that's $60,000 an hour. Say, okay, we're going to cut all that and do $10,000 an hour and then just divvy that up between the people. Easy. Easy. All right, let's talk about this real quick. I want to talk about this before I get into this video. I have not seen any of these videos. Keep this in mind. I'm a diehard Jersey dude, right? When I say Jersey, I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about the state, New Jersey. Armpit, dirty, right? Boardwalks, great food, ugly people, democratic nation, right? But I love this state. I do. I love it. It's hard for me to tell you which one I like better, Florida or New Jersey. It's tough. I love the weather in Florida, but I also love food, and I'm trying to lose weight, so it's probably best that I stay in Florida. However, I'm gaining more weight being in Florida. I'm just being more lazy, but not the point. I digress. So one thing that's great about Jersey is food. And what you'll find whenever you go to New Jersey, let me go like this. What you'll find whenever you go to New Jersey, you'll find a lot of diners. And you'll find that New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania. And then it kind of just dissipates for whatever reason. I'm not saying that Cali doesn't have diners or Ohio doesn't have diners, but you will never, ever, 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 I promise you, you could go in all 50 states right now, because I've been to them all, and I could tell, well, I haven't been to one, North Dakota, and I doubt they have diners. They don't even have people, so there's no need for a diner. But one thing that you'll notice in New Jersey, I have been in North Dakota, it's South Dakota. It's the one that has Helena. I think that's North Dakota. I have Montana, that might be. It's one of those shitty states that, like, you look out the window, there's a buffalo. Robust as a buffalo, playful as a curious as a meerkat. So there was, if you go to Jersey, you could drive down one road. Let's pick Highway 1, Route 1. You could drive down that, and I'm not exaggerating, every 3 to 4 lights, and the lights are probably 400 feet apart, maybe a half a mile. Every 3 to 4 lights, you will find a diner. And you won't find just one, you'll find like 2 or 3, and they're delicious. They have like 5,000 things on the menu, and you just pick and choose, and they always have it. So when I hear about diners in Florida, I think of that's what it'll be. That's not what it is. But however, this little story we're going to go over right now is a big problem in Jersey, but nobody gives a shit. But in Florida, they care. It's because you guys don't know what. And you guys usually are snowbirds, right? You come up from New Jersey or you come down from New Jersey and you come to Florida. So you think you wouldn't complain about this, but yet you are.
The question tonight is, does the Sawgrass Mills Eatery care about the health and safety of you, the customers? Despite multiple warnings and ordered closures, we found they continue to ignore simple steps to prevent an insect infestation.
Here's Local 10 News investigator Jeff Hines here with tonight's Dirty Dining Report.
First off, let me stop right now. You guys want me to play this and then comment, or comment as we go? Because I feel like this 3-minute video is going to turn into 25 minutes. Let me tell you this. You walk into a diner in New Jersey, you would be unlucky to have a cockroach not be anywhere near you, right? Like, you will walk in, see 12 black widows, 6 cockroaches, and maybe some rat hair. Happens all the time. All the time. So I'm automatically looking at this saying, wow, beautiful ceiling, hideous chandeliers, nice presentation. Don't tell me about insects, okay? I'm not being funny here. I've never really gotten a cockroach like in my food. All jokes aside, I've never like taken the bun off of a burger and seen a cockroach. But I am sure wherever their food is, in any restaurant, even, I don't know about a Michelin star, but most restaurants or diners have cockroaches. So And you know the best types of place to eat at, if you've ever been to Jersey, the best types of place to eat at are the ones that look like shit. Because they have to do everything to keep that clientele. So that being said, okay.
Air curtains not on.
The door's wide open, and with a troubling history of a flying insect infestation, you would think management at Paul Fresh Bakery in Sawgrass Mills would be doing everything possible to keep bugs out and off the food they sell you. But they are not. And this employee claims no one is in charge to talk about it.
You had a fly issue. The door's open. The air curtains aren't on.
Who the fuck is this guy? This is a guy. Are you a health inspector or are you the news? Let me walk into your house. Who gives a shit about flies? Since when can't we eat next to flies? You don't like the flies? You, I don't know, go home and eat indoors.
You're not sure? Who's in charge?
No, manager's not in store.
Paul is an upscale French bakery located in the Colonnade section of the mall. Last week, the flying insect issue here so bad, Paul was ordered shut for the second time for the same issue. Records show multiple flying insects observed landing on bread in the
Okay.
display case, on paper used for baked goods, on bread baskets, and in a dishwashing and dry storage area. Records show management has been continuously warned, dating back to 2018, about insect issues.
And what are you doing about it? Not the restaurant, not the bakery. And I'm not, let's be clear, I'm not excusing the bakery, right? But what are you doing about it? Right? If they've been having issues since 2018 and it's 2025, this was 10 hours ago, what are you doing about it? You're not closing it, right? Okay, well, then it's food. Insects will fly in. It's congested in here, so we open up the front doors. You don't want the fruit fly bread? I've got bread in the back in the oven. I can promise you that whatever flies were on that dough when we put it in are dead. But here's the issue, right? You have an old dude that comes to Florida, and he's like, you know what? I am retiring. I'll go be a health inspector. This is a real thing, by the way. Not health inspectors, old people coming here and doing like home inspections, health inspections, whatever. So you got an old dude that's just grumpy. He doesn't want to come to work. So health inspectors in Florida, for whatever reason, are much more in your face, like, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Maybe because everybody's dying and they're like knocking at heaven's door or hell's, and they just want to make sure that nobody I'm not being funny. Maybe they just, because the health is, you obviously have a weaker immune system, so you can't eat the same flies that I can. And you know, we went to a place here in Palm Coast, Chopsticks, Golden Chopsticks. It's like a spin off of Golden Corral and like a Chinese food place, and it was good, right? But when you look at their health reports, you would think that you're going into a place that is in the middle of nowhere and they have no quality control whatsoever. But when we ate there, we didn't get sick. The silverware was a little bit dirty. The plates weren't super clean, but the food was good. Were there flies and shit? Sure. Were there bugs? It's seafood. Yes, there is. Yes? Okay. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. I feel like this is just ridiculous.
Issues in this restaurant. In March of last year, we were...
And stop calling it a restaurant, right? It's not a restaurant. It's not. It doesn't even say restaurant on the outside. It says I don't know, Maison de Quartier, fondé en 18. I don't know. I have a little bit of British in there. Fondé en 1889. If this place has been here since 1889 and the least of the problems is fucking fruit flies, you're doing good. Your wall's not coming down. There ain't. And there ain't no way that Paul is still alive from 1889. You'd be old as shit. All right, let's go on.
Show management has been continuously warned, dating back to 2018, about insect issues in this restaurant. In March of last year, we were here when they were first ordered shut. The front doors were wide open.
Okay, there we go. So they were ordered to close. Okay.
Open, the air curtains designed to prevent insects from entering weren't on. And back then, a manager told us,
right now it's not working right now because the doors have to be open, otherwise customers will not come in. Yeah, but nothing we can do about it.
nothing you can do? How about closing the front doors?
How about closing your fucking mouth? Oh, God. See, sorry for cursing so much. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Flying insects are known to carry germs from garbage, sewage, rotting food. When they land on food or surfaces, they can transfer harmful bacteria and even viruses. Some even lay eggs in food, causing contamination. In downtown Doral is Alegria by El Rancherito. The location 8390.
The news guy's white, by the way. You put zero effort into rolling your R's, like zero. Just ranchero, like you didn't even try. Just you just gave up when you saw the name. I don't know how to say that. Let's go, Alabama.
Eggs in food, causing contamination. In downtown Doral is Alegria by El Rancherito. The location 8391 Northwest 12th Street. This Colombian restaurant also ordered shut for the second time. As soon as we walk in the door, this guy gets up from a table.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Excuse me.
Can I talk to somebody about last week's inspection? Cucarachas?
You guys to leave.
Open for
I need you
business,
guys to
serving people food, roaches. Second time you ordered shut?
There's a reason why he's throwing us out. We're here to ask about the 8
There's people, the news still does this, like where they go around to restaurants and like look at health. There's people that do this. I didn't know they did this anymore. I guess I need to start searching for this. The way that he is saying those R's are, it's not rancherito. It sounds like a spinoff of Doritos, just covered in ranch.
violations found here last week. Among them, live and dead roaches spotted on a knife magnet, a chest freezer, a reach-in cooler, behind kitchen equipment like the fryer and the steam table.
No offense, that's a pretty nice looking restaurant.
Behind the microwave. This place also ordered shut last November for a flying in.
Okay, hold on. But look at this. Look at these dates. Temporarily closed on the 12th, right? 13th. They're back up on the 14th. Good to go. So, hold on. What is this? Follow-up inspection. That's met inspection standards November. Someone complained. They came back. What is that? No, it's every 3 months? Ooh. Wow, that's pretty rigorous. Follow-up. Met inspection centers on the 12th. And then closed on the 12th? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. But you're saying that they met the standards on the 12th. And then they closed. But you didn't say that you closed them. Maybe they were closed for those days. Maybe that was Saturday and Sunday when you went to go again to inspect. I don't know. But I find that's weird because that's on the 12th. And then the 13th, then you open back up. Whatever. All right, keep moving. Rancherito.
Insect issue, and their response? All those places we just mentioned, allowed to reopen again, following an ordered cleanup, and then a reinspection. Jeff Weinseer, Local 10 News.
Okay, I mean, you got people there, right? You got people eating. They're enjoying themselves, right? You're walking around with your little camera, shoulder fire camera, and you're just, whatever. I'm just saying in Jersey, the people know, you will walk into a restaurant, it will be packed, and people know that it's dirty kitchen. Like, everybody knows. It's okay. Whatever. I'm not saying it's okay to be dirty. It's just, these guys have got fruit flies. Rancheritos, saying that purposely that way, has cockroaches. It wasn't on the food, though. They were on the knife magnet. And they were behind the microwave. Behind the microwave? Oh, wow. Okay. I got one more big one. This is a big one. Woman sues fertility clinic after giving birth to another family's baby. Okay. I don't know about you, but that title to me says you went in for like a tune-up and you got a whole rehaul, like they rebuilt your engine. Because I feel like now that I'm reading this title, what that means is she's a surrogate mother and she's suing over something there. Or it could mean that she went in to carry this person's baby and she ended up with somebody else's. So I have no idea what this means, but we're going to go for it because I thought it was intriguing, the title. They got me on the clickbait. So let's just see if they got me on the hook, line, and sinker.
Long journey to motherhood took a path she never thought possible.
I spent my entire life wanting to be a mom. I loved, nurtured, and grew my child, and I would have done literally anything in my power to keep him.
After years of fertility and IVF treatments, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy in December.
Okay, I don't know. They got to do better on that blur. I thought the baby had a balloon for a head. Either that or I'm tired. That baby looked like it got a balloon on its head. You could have done a better blur job. And that baby's black, by the way. So I feel like I'm going to need to mute my mic now and just kind of let this go.
December of 2023.
What was your immediate reaction after you gave birth?
I was happy. I was a mom. He was beautiful and perfect, but it was also very clear that something was wrong.
She vividly remembers the shock when she saw her baby for the first time. Whereas Christina is a Caucasian woman who chose a...
Oh, here we go. Yep, there it is. Okay, we got it. We're on to something here. She gave birth to a black baby. Jeez. I see why you blurred it. I see
sperm
it.
donor with a similar appearance. The baby she delivered was African American.
An at-home DNA test result that January confirmed what Christina suspected. The baby was not hers. On February 5th, Christina's lawyers...
I don't want the baby. Not because the baby's black. It's just not my baby. Right? I don't want it. Do you have a return policy? Is there something that I could do to give this back? I've already created it. I just don't want it anymore. And I know someone's going to say, damn, that's cold, Jay. No, it's not. It's no different. It's pro-life. I gave birth to this baby. I just don't want it. Now you have to explain to everybody what's happened. This is bad, bro. This is like some shit you hear about like on a ridiculous podcast somewhere. And out of all honesty, this probably happens a whole lot more. It's just the rarity of you coming out with a black baby, because if it was a white baby, you wouldn't say anything. You'd just be like, oh, okay. That's just what the genes look like. Versus black, it's like, ah. But did you know that two white people could have a black child? Did you know that? Look it up. It's in your DNA. You can.
Reached out to the fertility clinic, Coastal Fertility Specialist, informing them of the mix-up.
And just let them know, what the results were and asked for answers.
In March, Coastal Fertility informs the other couple their embryo was transferred to Christina, that family taking legal action to obtain custody. In a family court hearing that May, Christina decides to give up the baby voluntarily.
It's like that.
Yep. I support that decision 100%. That baby's not mine.
Happiest day of their life is like the worst day of mine. So like everyone's happy and joyous, and then there's me losing my entire life all at once.
But
now
you chose
Christina
that.
is suing Coastal Fertility Specialists in a complaint filed in a Georgia court.
She could have kept the baby. She could have. They weren't going to take the baby away from her. You gave the baby up. Don't start playing victim now, right? It's the hardest day of my life to give up that baby. Then don't give it up then.
Errors like this should never occur in a fertility clinic. This is the cardinal sin.
The actions of the fertility clinic have come very close to destroying me, have left irreparable damage to my soul, and ultimately left me questioning whether I should be a mom or not.
In a statement, Coastal Fertility Specialist says in part it deeply regrets the distress caused by an unprecedented error, adding this was an isolated event with no further patients affected. The same day that...
How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you make that statement so bold and stand by that? There are people that are currently pregnant, right? She can't be your only patient. There has to be other people. How do you know that that's isolated? Have you tested the last 300 babies through IVF? No. Now, I can promise you that answer is no. So you don't know that. Wow, bro, wow.
This error was discovered, we immediately conducted an in-depth review and put additional safeguards in place to further protect patients and to ensure that such an incident does not happen again. Christina's attorney also says government regulation is needed.
Christina's situation at Coastal Fertility is just one example of the crazy mishaps that can occur at a fertility center because they are largely unregulated. There are no reporting requirements when errors are made. There are no random and unannounced inspections. There are no statewide or federally required certifications for the staff.
Well, let me tell you this, okay? Did you know that if you look at sperm, right? Let me pause this for a second. I'll give you a little bit so you can learn something, and it's just not me making idiotic statements. Did you know that if you look at sperm, right, or if you look at a baby's DNA, baby's born DNA, you can see what their chromosomes are, XXY, XX, YY, whatever. You can look at that. The one thing that is very difficult to find out is the baby's race, based off of a quick DNA sample. Sex, gender, not a problem. Race, not so easy. Obviously, you have to visually see it, but to look at it at DNA, that's why those DNA tests all online are typically scams. It's not something that you just look at. Oh, that's a black baby. Nope. Or even a grown adult. It's not that simple. That's been heavily studied, by the way.
Who work at fertility clinics.
As for Christina, her long journey to motherhood is not over.
It sounds like you haven't given up your dream of becoming a mom.
I have not given up. I have started the process over again with another clinic. And I'm hopeful that in the next year or two, I can try again.
And Priya Sridhar joining us now from Savannah, Georgia. Priya, to put it mildly, this is a shocking incident, but I guess not entirely unheard of. How common is this, and is there anything that families can do to ensure it doesn't happen to them?
Yeah, that's right, Sam. You know, Christina's lawyer said that this is rare, but certainly not unprecedented. He's actually represented thousands of clients who were fertility patients at clinics across the country over the last 13 years, and they've had a variety of cases, including embryo mix-ups, but also freezer malfunctions that have caused embryos and eggs to be destroyed, or fertility specialists who have dropped vials of eggs and embryos on the ground. He actually thinks that the prevalence of these cases may be higher than we even know, because in Christina's specific case, it was very evident since the race of her baby was different from her own. And he believes that perhaps moving forward, anyone who has a baby through IVF will want to genetically test it to ensure that the baby is biologically theirs.
Yeah, I can't even imagine how devastating to those parents that kind of a mix-up would be. What more do we know about the...
Well, okay. If you give out your eggs for them to impregnate your eggs, the baby's yours, right? It's just half yours, you know? And I think possession is 9/10 of the law. So, you know what? I'm not going to touch that, because I'm just not, because I have a lot of opinions about that. So I'll just leave that alone.
Other family in this case, has Christina seen the child since that day in family court?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sam. And, you know, they're really trying to protect that family's privacy. So all we know is that they live in a different state. And, you know, as we saw in the story, she voluntarily handed over the child to them in that family court. She has not seen the baby since then, but she says that she'll never live a day for the rest of her life wondering how that baby boy is doing, Sam.
All right. Quite a layered and...
Okay. I just, let me go back real quick. She said she gave the baby up, right? They didn't take the baby.
Was not hers. On February 5th, Christina's lawyers reached out to the fertility clinic, Coastal Fertility Specialists, informing them of the mix-up.
And just let them know, what the results were and ask for answers.
In March, Coastal Fertility informs the other couple their embryo was transferred to Christina. That family taking legal.
Oh, okay. I had it a little mixed up. I do apologize for a second. Hold on. That was my bad. I explained it. I was under a different. I thought it was her egg with somebody else's sperm. I didn't think it was. You understand what I'm saying? I thought they took her eggs out and they just put sperm in it versus her taking another couple. Okay, that's a little bit different. Okay.
Action to obtain custody. In a family court hearing that May, Christina decides to give up the baby voluntarily.
Okay, but I still go back to my original statement. Christina gives up the baby voluntarily. Right, so she could have fought it. She could have. Okay. All right, I have one more story. I wasn't going to go over this, but this is on the right side, and it's actually, it's like really, this is messed up. Hold on a second. It's really saying click me. So I'm going to have to click this. Hold on a second. So she didn't have to give up the baby. She just elected to. Got it. All right. I want to click this real quick.
How some of our devices, they warn us when things get too loud so that we could protect our precious hearing. And of course, you've got noise cancellation that helps us block out the noisy world out there. Well, what if the headphones that we are using can actually cause problems with how we process sounds? Well, the UK's National Health Society found a disturbing trend with young people using noise-canceling headphones, and the problem does not lie with our ears, but rather our brains, apparently causing people to have auditory processing disorders. So what does that mean? We're going to bring in Dr. Akshay Sayal. He is here in the studio to explain all of this. First off, Akshay Sayal, you've got a case right there.
Guilty as charged. I have noise canceling headphones. I've been using noise canceling headphones for years, and short answer is I'm not going to stop based on what we're seeing today. But that being said, it is really, really interesting what these audiologists are telling the UK press.
Audiologist. Oh, I like that name.
Got it. So you're still using it, but you've read this. What first off, let's just explain the science here. How does our brain process sounds, and what does noise canceling do?
Great question, Gotti. So when things make noise in the world, they create these sound waves. And I think we have an animation here we can play for you in a sec. But these sound waves travel through the ear. They go through the middle ear and then into the inner ear. You can see there on your screen there. And those vibrations from the sound essentially just vibrate different parts of the ear. You can see that's the eardrum there, just that little squishy thing moving. And there's some bones in the ear that are going to start vibrating. And that thing on the right there, that's the cochlea, that's sort of snail-looking thing. So that's, when we talk about noise damage and hearing loss, that's where most of it happens, right? That's the reason we have noise-canceling headphones in the first place, to prevent some of that damage. But Gotti, what we're talking about today is a little bit different. You can see some of those hair cells on the screen there. That's what happens when things are too loud. But what they're saying today in the UK is that there's actually a problem in the brain, not the ear. Sort of like, if you're in a noisy room, kind of telling where that sound is or who is talking. That's more of what we're talking about today, as opposed to dampening everything.
Interesting. And so when the brain is processing this ambient sound in the background, is that important for human development?
It is, and a lot of what we're seeing, especially with these AirPods and other headphones, kids are using them in school. Kids in their younger years are using them in school, and so a lot of the alarm today in the UK press is about if these kids are starting so young, what's going to happen as they develop? Are those parts of the brain going to be shrink or atrophied, or going to be smaller than they should be? And how is that going to affect their ability to have a conversation sitting here in a room or in a loud room, or sort of be able to pick up different sounds? That's where a lot of the alarm is coming from.
So moderation?
So moderation. I'm not going to stop using noise-canceling headphones. A lot of the noise-canceling headphones we saw today, have a transparency mode or an adaptive mode where you can sort of, play that ambient noise, bring it back into life. Because, if you're walking around in New York City, for example, and you have noise-canceling headphones, that could be a problem if there's a car coming by and you don't hear it necessarily. So everything in moderation, and it's okay to turn off that noise-canceling feature every now and then.
Yeah, but I feel like you love your noise-canceling, because sometimes we share an office, and I know I had a tendency to mumble.
Okay, okay. So a couple things. Why didn't they go over what problems they're saying it causes? right? Like you mentioned it, but then you just kind of glossed over it and showed us an animation. But like, what problems specifically? It might be a little too early. That's interesting because I'm not a big fan of noise canceling. To me, I have to hear like a fan and maybe that's why, because of those little tiny hairs in there need to, well, they're not hairs, whatever they are, needs to have that type of vibration. That's fascinating, man. Yeah, I guess just don't use noise canceling or just deal with what you got. All right, so that's the stream for today. I want to give a huge shout out to Jorn. Huge shout out Jorn, Monkey, Matthew, Combat, and David. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm sure I will see everybody else later. Actually, before I do that, yep, that's it. So, you guys stay beautiful.